Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite Ravens YouTube channel and podcast, Talking Ravens all day, every day, with your host Justin P and my co-host Maurice. I'm sorry, I just missed my guy. That's why I keep cut on one time. AJ Henson, but Maurice is a part of this. He just be busy. So once this season's over, he gonna be on here with us a lot. So this is episode 9 for the YouTube channel. And for the audio podcast, it's season 1, episode 4. You can listen to that on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, uh, iHeartRadio, Player FM, basically anywhere you get your podcasts and music stuff from. Just type in Talking Ravens all day, every day podcast, and they'll list all the available platforms. All right, today we got a very special guest. He's going to be joining us momentarily. Just talk to him. Kevin Oestreicher from Locked On Ravens podcast. They have a Locked On network with all 32 teams. So every team in the NFL has a Locked On podcast. So, he's very phenomenal what he does. Has about 1,500 subscribers or something like that, man. Every morning, he drops the show with him. He'll have Quadri Ishmael on there, Spencer Schultz, and Cole Jackson from Baltimore Beatdown. Sarah Ellison's on there real frequently. Bobby Trossett, Jeff Sarebeck, basically all the Ravens insiders and reporters. He's real connected with them, so he'll be joining us momentarily. Go ahead, co-host. Go ahead, do your thing, AJ.
All right. First and foremost, like always, I want to thank JP, what I'm saying, for always getting this together. Shout out to him. I also want to thank our subscribers. Please, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. You can catch us on YouTube, Talking Ravens all day, every day. Please spread the word if you haven't. Shout out to my boy Jeff Fort, Brian Murray and Chris Wright for always, sharing opinions and telling me things what they think about, what we should be discussing. And that's pretty much it for the intro for right now.
All right. Well, we'll start. And like I said, once Kevin gets here, we'll let him chime in. So, AJ,
Okay.
just give me, man, what the hell happened Sunday, man? So just break it down to us.
I want to say coaching number one. Number one, Kenyon Drake out there killing it. I mean, it's no other way I can explain it. He had over 100 yards rushing. Why will we stop running the ball? That's number one. It didn't make sense. We got down to the goal line numerous times. There's no reason the game should have even been like that. For the most part, intact on defense, Saquon was pretty much shut down. We handled that. That's something we talked about. We took him out of the picture now. Later on in the fourth quarter, when the game was at the end, I mean, don't get me wrong, he had a couple of gashes and all that, but for the most part, he really, do nothing to us. And I want to credit Malik Harrison for that. You know what I'm saying? Because he stuck with him, and he was keeping up with him even when he was coming out of the backfield. Looked like he was going to catch passes and all of that. So, um, definitely want to credit him for that. But coaching, it's coaching.
Got you. Hey, there you go. Here's Kevin, everyone. I told you he'd be joining us momentarily. So, all right, Kevin, man. I know you did a show this morning, man. I think it was Cole Jackson. I know yesterday you had Spencer Schultz on there. So just give us, I know, just give us basically your opinion. I know you already didn't voice everything in your show, but just reiterate it for those who might not watch the show this morning or what happened in the Meadowlands Sunday.
Yeah, sure. It's great to be with you guys. And I think when you're talking about what happened, it's frustrating because it's the same stuff happening over and over again, where you have many little things combining into this one big thing where the Ravens, you could argue they could be 6-0 right now. They could be 1-5 right now. There are so many different records that they have, but it came down to if I had to pick one single play in that game, it was the illegal formation penalty where I think you you win the game, I think, if you convert that and it doesn't actually get called back by a penalty. And it's just a string of events. So you have the bad exchange with Linderbaum and Jackson. And then what many people thought, okay, the simple throw there is just throw it away. Don't try to force something when there's not anything there. It was very well covered by the Giants. It was a broken play, and we've seen Lamar Jackson be better in those situations this year. I think his decision making has been better, but that was an example of where it was not very good. And then you give the Giants a short field. So they've been a dominant team for the first three quarters mostly this year. But then it's the fourth quarter where they're one of the worst fourth quarter teams in the league. And I'm sure many Ravens fans right now wouldn't even feel safe if the Ravens had a 25-point lead or a 27-point lead at this point, just because of what has happened so far this year. So they have to continue to clean up on stuff. I think it's a coaching issue. I think it's an execution issue. There's everything that goes into it. But I do think that despite the roster not being perfect, they have too much talent right now to be a 3-3 football team.
Hey, Kevin, I completely agree, man. Like, it's just like self-inflicted mistakes and wounds, penalties, false starts. We can't turn the football over like that. Like I said, Lamar, we all know he's our Superman, but also he's been hurting us with the turnovers. Like, so far, outside of the Dolphins game, he has thrown an interception like that. You can't do that. You can't do that. As much as we give you the praise and glory and you deserve it, we got to give you some criticism too. Like, you got to throw the football away if nothing's there. Live to play another down. Take the points. Like, it was one play, I think it was 3rd and 15. Remember, the Giants basically just packed the middle of the field and just had everybody wait for him. He tried to cut back. Instead of him just getting rid of the football, he tried to take off a scramble. And everybody's sitting there in the middle. And we had to end up punting the football, and that could have possibly been 3 points because it knocked us out of field goal range. Then the fumble, you gotta secure the football. Know your surroundings at all time, man. You just can't. My thing with him, and I know you probably saw this on Twitter when I shared it, Kevin. Like, every time he senses a tad bit of pressure, he feels like he gotta roll out and flushes out the pocket. You don't have to. Stand in the pocket, deliver the ball, and just take that hit. Give your receiver a shot, like the play to DeMarcus Robinson, the double move. If he just would have stepped up in the pocket, it had a chance. It would have had a chance. But instead, he rolled out and tried to throw it across his body. Luckily, that didn't get intercepted. Xavier McKinney chose to play the safe route and knock it down so he wouldn't miss the ball. But it's like you can't make those boneheaded mistakes, especially if we ready to give you $250 to $300 million. I'm a Lamar apologist too, so it's like I'm always defending him. But now lately, he gotta stop with the bonehead turnovers. And then defensively, they've been playing much better. Saquon Barkley is only averaging 3.5 yards a carry. He got the last touchdown, because we basically put him there with the interception. So it's just like I said, it's just coaching and just and execution. Like, we gotta clean up a lot of stuff, man. Like, 'cause you can't just sit here and squander away leads each game. Every game we played, we done had a lead, man. And we're 3-3. That's not acceptable. Go ahead, AJ.
I mean, yeah, both of y'all good points. I mean, the interception, that's all on Lamar, 100%. There's nothing I can say. Lamar has a habit of not throwing the ball away. And even when he's scrambling, like, he keeps trying to look downfield, and then he might either step out of bounds, but, he's still behind the line of scrimmage. It could be a sack, or he'll look down and then try to just throw it. But completely, that's his fault. The fumble, I'll say the defender just made a good play on the ball. I mean, that's because he looking downfield trying to throw, he pumping his arm. The defender just made a good play on the ball. But it's like you said, every time he's in the pocket, he senses a little bit of pressure, and we all see it. It's like you see his feet start to move before his body. It's like his feet are under him, and they just like, oh, I'm going to go. And he's still trying to look. But, like you said, penalties, the illegal formation. And since Roman's been there, every year, every game, it seems like we almost get illegal formation calls. Like, somebody's going in motion, somebody's not on the line of scrimmage, somebody's off, not on the tackle. So it's like, I feel like that has to do with play calling. It's confusing. Like, I mean, you're trying to confuse the defense, but you're confusing our players as well. And like I said, man, it's just coaching, and we all watch the game. Both of y'all. To me, Lamar on the sideline doesn't talk to this team. He just sits there, even after a turnover, even after he comes off the field. He sits there. Every time he put the camera on Lamar, he just sits there, just looking, almost like he's pouting or he's waiting to get back in there. But he's not communicating with his linemen. He's not communicating with the wide receivers. He's just sitting there. So I'm looking at, and this stems back to last year. He was doing this too before he got injured. So I'm looking at it like, do you not want to talk to these guys? Are you not interested? Or you know what I'm saying? Like what's the issue? It's like it's no energy. There's no conversation there. I feel like you need to go talk to your receivers and have a conversation with them and say, hey, what route can you get open on against this guy? The lineman, look, I need y'all to hold up a little bit more while I pass this ball, a couple extra seconds. Pick up these blitzes. We seen all the greats do it. We just seen Tom Brady get on his offensive line for allowing pressure. And I feel like Lamar, he doesn't talk to these guys like that. And even when he's coming into the game, he comes in there just, walking in there, got his AirPods in, just chilling. And there's nothing wrong with it, but I feel like those guys are not on the same page. It's no energy to me. It's no when back to this MVP season, when you look at it, when Mark Ingram and all the locker room was happy. You seen guys on the sideline sitting down, communicating, conversing. I mean, it was just the energy was there. Now it's just like I'm just here to play football.
Well said, AJ. I agree. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, I think going back to the play calling, I think the sequence that stands out to me is I think in the red zone when the Ravens were at the Giants 5 yard line they had 1st and 5. In the way the Ravens were running the ball, the Ravens averaged 8.8 yards per carry. Kenyon Drake and Lamar both had over 11 yards per carry, and you see 3 straight pass plays, and you're thinking, why is that what we're doing right now? If you're the Ravens, it's like you're doing something so well and you're gashing the Giants with it. And then you're thinking, oh, they could pick up 5 yards easy on one play, maybe even if it takes 2 rush plays. But even if you're going to go 2 pass plays, 1 rush play, I think you would pass on 1st down. If you don't get it, you run on 2nd down, pick up some yardage, at least, hopefully, and then that gets you on a 3rd down, and maybe it's 3, maybe it's 2, so you can punch in the ball from 3 or 2 yards. Instead, the Ravens went 1 for 3 in the red zone. They left points on the board again, and I think that was a huge reason why the Ravens lost the game.
I agree. I agree, Kevin. Like I said, this is we keep squandering points. Like even when we had to kick the field goal, it's 1st and goal from the 3 yard line. You got a fullback that weighs 300 pounds. You got a tackle that's 380. So why not go heavy as you can? Put Falahe in as an eligible tackle, basically like a tight end. Record at fullback, and then just I want to know, is our formation banned from the NFL? Because everybody just seems to just want to go a shotgun and pistol. Like what happened to old school our formation? Just run it down your throat, especially when you only need a yard or two. I just don't get. I get everybody wants to be innovative. Everybody wants to be creative. Everybody wants to be the next Sean McVay, the boy wonder genius on offense. I understand that, but that's when it comes to those situations, just play power football and just get it in. I feel like we should never get stopped on the goal line, like with the personnel we have. We have 2 tight ends that's sick. That's huge, and a fullback that's huge, and we got a tackle that can come in and be an extra tight end and block. So it's like we should never get stopped on the goal line, especially on the 2 and 3 yard line. So definitely, like I said, because now you score a touchdown now instead of being 20-17, it's 24-17. And then like if we get closer, Justin Tucker don't miss that field goal. So now you talk about 27-17. So even if the Giants do score, we're still up 3 points. So it's just missed opportunities like that have always come back and bit us in the butt this year. And that's the reason why we're 3-3 instead of 5-1 or 6-1. So it's just like tape recorder. We just keep beating ourselves over and over and over again. All right, so let's talk about bringing in Deshaun Jackson. You can go ahead and start, AJ.
Um, we all know what Deshaun is capable of, and definitely a veteran wide receiver. Of course, even at his age, I think he's 35. I want to say 35, 36.
Yeah,
Even at this age, he still can outrun some of the young guys. But I don't have a problem with it, but I do have a problem with this. We don't even use the receivers that we have on the roster, and the Giants game is a prime example of that. Multiple tight ends on the field, pretty much all formation. Ricard gets more snaps than Prochet, Wallace, uh, being out there on the field. It's like we bring in these guys and we don't use them. And I'll say that because we brought in Dez Bryant. We didn't use Dez Bryant. It's like when are we going to learn that the formations is not calling for? And now you bring in Deshaun Jackson. So who's going to the practice squad and who's getting cut? Because I can tell you this right now, Deshaun Jackson ain't playing special teams. I'm just gonna say that. So
he do
somebody's gonna be the odd man out.
he do play special teams. Don't he return kicks and punts?
But at this age, at 35,
He'll still look. Cause now you now I'm gonna say this. Then I'm gonna let you finish, AJ. Now you put him to return punch. No, Duvernay don't gotta wear himself out.
so what about so now you still got Andy Isabella.
You
So
activate him too. Well, this is my thing. I think you go ahead and make Prochet and Wallace help you scratch this. I'm gonna tell you why. they don't bring explosiveness. They're good receivers, but Andy Isabella and Deshaun Jackson are going to put the fear in some DBs. They're going to be like, oh, we got two guys out here that run 7-4-3, so we can play cover zero if we want to.
Hey, here's the thing: the speed is nice, but what about the play calling? What is Roman going to come up with to get these guys involved? Because, like I said the other day, I think we only have wide receivers on our roster is because the NFL requires us to. Other than that, the tight ends like Kolar is coming back from injury. He's out there practicing. So now who's the odd man out? Because currently you have Josh Oliver, Isaiah Likely, Nick Boyle, Mark Andrews, Kolar, and then Patrick Ricard could play a little tight end. So now it's like you got all these guys, but I mean, what are we gonna do? I say Oliver's the odd man out, but
Definitely.
Boyle hasn't even he got a couple of snaps in the Giants game, and it's like what are we doing?
Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, it feels like Jackson's a move that is like it's fine on the surface, but if they are serious about upgrading the wide receiver core, I think it should be Jackson but then there is the point of play calling, which is are you going to get the guys on the field? What happens when Bateman comes back? I think Bateman coming back solves a lot of issues. I think they miss him really badly right now because everybody moves up rung on the ladder when a guy gets injured. So a lot of the concern going into the year with the depth was, all right, Rashad Bateman is your number one, but then who's going to step up as number two? It's been Duvernay, but Bateman goes down. So now Duvernay is effectively your number one, who has played good this year. But what happens if Duvernay goes down? Then you're relying on Demarcus Robinson becomes your number one, and then you have Tylan Wallace, James Prochet, and it becomes a situation where it's difficult because I think what Greg Roman has done this year, we saw flashes, I think, early, but we've seen he has struggled late, I think, to its situational awareness stuff we've talked about in years past. I also think, it's almost like the personnel that he puts on the field, people want to see Lamar Jackson with these 3-4 receiver sets and just see what he can do because we know he has the arm talent to do so.
Yep.
Has he played well these last 3 weeks? No, yeah, he hasn't played well, and it's okay to say that. He's still a great quarterback regardless. But people want to see him have DK Metcalf or DeAndre Hopkins or Stephon Diggs. But the concern for people is that in a Greg Roman offense, how often is said star receiver going to be targeted? How often is he going to get the football? So I think if there is a change, and who knows when or if it will come this year or whenever, but if Greg Roman is the odd man out here, and I think if there was a coaching change, it would be him. I think it's way too early to fire Mike McDonald. The defense has played well recently too. And I think Harbaugh has at least till the end of the season. I just think making a change like that right now probably isn't in their DNA. But I think if they lose against Cleveland in week 7, pandemonium, I think, is going to break loose for the fan base at least. And then you have to wonder, how can they adjust the offense? Because the offense in the fourth quarter has been one of the worst fourth quarter off. I think they're averaging under 4 points a quarter in the fourth quarter every game, which for the way that the Ravens play, we're used to seeing them take 9-10 minutes off the clock, just run the clock all the way down and be able to ice the games away. That's like back at the 2019 dominant phase, but this isn't 2019 anymore. And I think the Ravens have to understand a little bit more of that, where look, you can put the heavy personnel out there. It's fine to do so. Like, this is a running team still, I think, but Lamar Jackson can throw the football. The passing offense carried the Ravens for the first 3 weeks. Lamar Jackson carried them with his arm. He can do it. The decision-making, obviously, we saw in the last couple weeks hasn't been amazing, but I think he would benefit from having a star wide receiver like a DJ Moore, like a DK Metcalf. But would the Ravens go away from their philosophy to go out there and spend a first-round pick or spend a second-round pick? I don't know if they do so. So maybe you're looking at more of a Brandon Cooks as your splash player. Maybe you're looking at a smaller acquisition like a Kendrick Bourne, but how much does that move a needle? My big thing is, does the move the needle? And some of these guys don't, where you would just say, why would you give up a fifth rounder when you already have X, Y, or Z on the roster? So I think the personnel is going to be interesting to see how they adjust it, because they ran the ball so well against the Giants, but then they started to try to force the ball through the air, which didn't work. So again, I think it goes back to being able to understand the situation if you are Greg Roman and just ride the hot hand, which they did with Kenyon Drake, but then they didn't ride the hot hand when they actually needed to do it.
Yeah, definitely, Kevin. I agree. I said that the other day, like, the run game's working, stay with it, and that's his forte. He's a run game coordinator. So why not stick to your best attribute or your best quality as an offensive coordinator? Like, you just abandon the run. I get it. We want Lamar to put up 50 yards a game so we can be like, hey, this is why we gave him $300, 300 million fully guaranteed. We want to stick it in people's faces. I get it, but let's win football games first, and then that'll take care of everything else. I get it. We want to prove the world wrong. We want to shut all the dollars up, but no, you got to stick to what's working. Kenyon Drake was killing those guys, 10 yards a carry. Stay with it, man. So it's like, and then getting Deshaun Jackson, I wasn't really hot, excited about it at first, but I understand it. Veteran receiver who can get open. Like I say, he's not going to be your number one, but he's going to definitely put fear into defensive coordinators because now they know, man, D-Jack still can run. Like we seen last year, even with the Raiders and Rams, he was making big plays for both teams. As long as he can stay healthy, the hamstring hold up, he's going to your DBs better get on their high horse because they're going to have to run. And but me personally, I wanted them to trade for Robbie Anderson, a little younger receiver, because we need a bigger body. Like the tallest receiver on our team is DeMarcus Robinson at 6'1". Bateman's listed at 6'1". So I wanted somebody 6'3" on up. So him, Denzel Mims is another guy. I know you said this on your show before. I don't know what's going on with the Jets. I don't know if he just fell out the rotation or not, or he just don't. The offense will fit him. But that's another guy that they should try to get for cheap. Another guy I've said before on Twitter, Tyrell Williams, for the Raiders. He used to play for the Raiders and Chargers. Big receiver, 6'4", 215 pounds, can stretch the field. Solid hands. He's been hampered with injuries, so that's why his value is not good. But that's a guy that's low risk, high reward signing. Or the trading for Brandon Cooks thing is like you just got basically him with Deshaun Jackson, just a couple years older. So it's the same player. Like if anything, get a big, like I said, let's get a bigger body now. Let's go get let's get Nico Collins or something. If we want to trade any receiver from the Texans, let's get Nico Collins. He's 6'4", 220 pounds. He ran a 4.4. He's a beast at Michigan. I would end the Ravens was drafted when he came out. So let's go get guys like that got a bigger body frame. That way Lamar can throw it up to him in the red zone. So I like it, but like I said, because he definitely can bring the explosiveness to the offense. But at the same time, it's like we got enough 5'10", 5'11". Let's go get them big guys, 6'3", 6'4". I like those big receivers. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, both of y'all points, mainly you, Kevin. When you talk about the injuries, now Bateman go down, and then Duvernay, and then you got Robinson, and then if Duvernay go down, it's Robinson. If Andrews go down, who's gonna step up? Who's that backup tight end that's gonna go out there and go catch passes? Because if Andrews go down, I mean Nick Boy was not getting no playing time. Isaiah likely showed flashes, but I don't know what's going on. It's personnel. I don't know Roman's how he's doing it, but it's personnel. Uh, Josh Oliver, I really don't trust him. And then you got Charlie Cola, who's now practicing. So if Andrews go down, we essentially have no other tight end who can step in and fulfill that role that Lamar likes to go to. So now, let's say Andrews went down, and Bateman went down. So now you're gonna make Deshaun a one, Duvernay a two, or how we gonna do it? It's things where that falls down to coaching, and Greg Roman is not using what we have to move forward essentially, to produce drives, to sustain drives, and score points. Like I said earlier, it seems like he just wants tight ends on the field at all times. There's no way on third down Patrick Ricard should be out there lining up as a slot receiver and then going out for a pass. It's unacceptable. He's a 300-pound guy going out for a pass as a slot wide receiver when you have wide receivers over there on the bench is unacceptable. And to your point, JP, a big wide receiver, I know the guy, he's been in trouble numerous times. He's been suspended for God knows how many times. He was with Kansas City. They cut him this preseason. Josh Gordon, another big guy. I mean, we could go get. He's a big guy. He can run. He can catch. He did have some issues, but I mean, Kansas City gave him a chance. So why shouldn't we give him a chance? I mean, it's just it just seems like it's the same old story. We get these guys who, and I like Deshaun Jackson, but up in his age, I mean, he still can play, he still has speed, but it seems like the Ravens is a retirement home for wide receivers. It just seems like that's what it is.
Go ahead, Kevin. I know we got you for about like 5 or 6 minutes or so you can go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because the way that the Ravens run their offense, we saw so much success for them in 2019. And I've stayed pretty neutral on Greg Roman. Like, I think he is a fine offensive coordinator, but he has flaws. And the issue is I'm big on complacency. And I don't like when any team stays complacent in terms of success. So I'm not somebody who, if I were in an organization, I wouldn't be like, all right, let's go to the wild card round, go to the divisional round every year, get eliminated and do it again and do it again and do it again. There has to be growth, and there has to be they have the goal. They want to win the Super Bowl. They've made that clear so many times, and I think they can. But there's been the conversation about, has Lamar Jackson outgrown Greg Roman? Is there anything else Greg Roman can do for Lamar Jackson? We saw the success they had in 2019, but we're getting further and further and further away from that year where the NFL is different, the Ravens are different, the personnel is different. So I think when you're talking about even like shelf lives of offensive coordinators, they're not around for as long as Greg Roman has been around. So that's why I think that he would be the first to go if there was something to happen. And we've seen the Ravens fire offensive coordinators before, or just make changes before to spark them. I mean, I just talked about how 2019 isn't, it's in the rearview mirror, but in 2019, they did go out and they cut Tim Williams. They signed LJ Fort and Josh Bynes. They acquired Marcus Peters, and that sparked them. It did. The week 3 and week 4 games the Ravens had in 2019, they allowed 500 total yards in both of those games, 1,000 total yards in 2 games allowed. They knew something had to change, and Eric DeCosta went out there and did it. I think that, again, if we kind of see, even if the Ravens win on Sunday against the Browns, but it's one of those, should they have won? Should they have lost? It was a, skin of their teeth win. I think that this team can go out there and like beat teams by 20, but it's the execution issues. And some of that does come down to, I know so many people, and myself included, are frustrated by, I think, the fact that it seems almost every other play, we see the play clock go 5, 4, 3, 2. And it's like, it's been an issue. It hasn't just been a this year thing, where I actually think it's gotten a little better this year. But last year, it was the whole season. It was almost like the play clock was, we've seen delay of games this year. We've seen false starts this year. I'm not saying it all falls on coaching, right? I think you have to put everybody and hold everybody accountable for it, players and coaches. But there's so much that has to do with the way the offense has kind of zigged in one direction. The Ravens have zagged in a different one, and it has worked for them to a degree. But there has to be that growth. And I think for now, we've seen the offense kind of hit a wall for now, and they have to break through it, or else teams are going to beat them, because it's the NFL. Any team can beat you any given Sunday, regardless of how talented or not talented they are. These are NFL football players. And so you have to be able to do the little things well. And that's why 10 penalties for 74 yards will kill you in a game, in a close game, especially 1 for 3 in the red zone will do the same thing. So people are frustrated. I understand why, because of just how close these games have been and just how they've lost their games. The fourth quarter collapse, the game against Buffalo, where is the decision the right or the wrong one, and then the Giants game, which is just a couple of unforced errors, which really, at the end of the day, the Ravens did force them, because Lamar Jackson forces that ball in a pass card. So it comes down to everybody. You have to hold everybody accountable. And I think that this is a very big year for them. I don't really count 2021 as much as maybe some people do because of the injuries. I understand what their situation was last year and why they finished the way they did. It doesn't give them an excuse, because there are still issues we're seeing this year, such as finishing games and stuff like that. But this is a year where they're getting guys back, and they have been impacted by injuries still. Guys are on pitch counts, guys are going in and out, but we're seeing guys getting back. And so I'm curious to see what it looks like when Gus Edwards comes back, when Tyus Bowser comes back, when Ajabo comes back. But if it's still not working, then I think you have a major issue if you're Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, well said, Kevin. So, Kevin, man, thank you, man. I know you got to head out. Definitely wish you could stay a little long. We'll do this again. You know that for sure. I definitely got to get on your show. I just we just got to figure out the time, because it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'll still be able, but we'll.
It's a grind, I'll tell you. But yeah, no, this was great, guys. I appreciate you having me on.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Get everybody, go follow to Locked On Ravens, man. YouTube, man. It's amazing content, man. Awesome guests, amazing breakdown. So definitely go follow Kevin, man. I think he's at like over 1,000 subscribers. Help him get to 2,000.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
I appreciate you, man.
Yep. Peace out.
All right, man. So like what Kevin just said, man. It's definitely, like I said, injuries is a part of the game. So like I said, of course you can, point at it, but at the same time, that's why you got a 53-man roster and not a 22-man roster, because it's a part of the sport. So that means you got to do a better job of getting quality depth behind behind your starters. Look at the Eagles. The Eagles got quality depth. The Bills, quality depth. Even the New York Jets right now, they got quality depth. Yeah, we beat up on them the first game, But that was with Joe Flacco and not Zach Wilson. To get for what it's worth, they're a whole different team right now, man. Like I said, Sauce Gardner out there making plays for them. Jermaine Johnson, Brees Hall, their first round picks are contributing right away. Like Owls, playing in Duffield way, like I said, I know you got the little bus table, label. I think they're gonna be okay, but it's like they gotta impact the game now. That's why you're drafting the first round to impact the game now. Kyle Hamilton, I love him because anytime you get a 6'4" safety, it's golden. But you gotta play him more. Like Geno Stone should not be out there starting. There should be Kyle and Chuck, and Geno coming and rotating. That's just me. Like he can't learn that from sitting on the bench. So it's like I didn't get that. So and like I said, EDC, I give him an A for effort. Like I said, he went and got Deshaun Jackson, Isabella, AJ Klein, Devon Kennard. You making an effort, but you gotta have to give up them picks, bro. You can't think you can hold on to 17 picks every year and think you're gonna get quality talent. Like building
Nope.
through the draft is definitely the most efficient way to build your team for the long run because it's cheaper and all that. I get it. I'm not saying walk that free agency and get ready to buy $100 million contract or trade all your picks like the Rams do, but nah. But if it's a player out there, that can help you right away, like DJ Moore, give up that first round pick for him. You know he's going to help you, and he's under contract. You can work out the numbers as the years go
Yep.
on. We've done it several times. Like I said, we went out and paid Marcus Williams $70 million with no problem, and it's paid off. He's done good. We paid Earl Thomas a bulk of money before he got into his house. We paid defensive players with no problem. But when it comes to the offensive play, we want to get a 5-finger discount. So it's like we got to stop that, man. Go out there and be as aggressive on getting the offensive talent as you is on defensive talent. Because like I said, your best player is your quarterback.
Yeah.
Like you got to surround him with better weapons. Like I know he drafted receiver. I know he drafted a lot of receivers, but it's different between drafting a stud receiver and just another guy. Like trade up in the draft and go get Jamar Chase. Fuck it. Fuck it. You gotta give up next year first and all that. It is what it is because the reward going to pay off. Like you're getting a sure thing. Like you just got to take more. You got to be a little bit more aggressive as far as like getting the perfect. Oh, I ain't gonna say the perfect prospect, but getting the right prospect. But the floor is yours.
Yeah, man. When it comes to EDC, like you said, you gotta give up those draft picks. If you want to win, I mean, you gotta give them up. Don't get me wrong. You love to have draft picks, but I mean, it's you got them for a reason. You can use them, you can trade them. And when you look at it, when you think about since EDC has been here and who he has drafted, only people I can really say that to me, and this is just my opinion, that actually look like they are doing good is, I got Linderbaum looks good. He hasn't allowed 0 sacks. He does have 3 penalties under his belt, but I mean, those false starts, it happens as a lineman. I'm not worried about that. He hasn't given them no sacks. Justin Matabike, we see what he's doing, and when he gets hot, they take him out. I don't know why. It's a whole nother story. I don't know what's going on. But I'm talking about when it comes to our first round picks, Hollywood, he just broke his foot with Arizona, I believe. Same foot he that was injured when we drafted him. Right now, it ain't looking good. That's trash. Okay, then you go to Patrick Queen. It ain't looking too good. Odafe Away. We just went. If you draft Odafe Away to be a pass rusher, you're supposed to work with him. Okay, we just go get Kennard. Only reason Odafe Away is out there on the field still start. We have no depth right now. Same thing with Queen. And once you sit those two, like I said, you cannot go back to them. Once you sit them, you cannot go back to them because then they will officially be labeled as bust. So we going into week 7. How many sacks does Oway have? What, one, two?
And a half too, yeah. So, but yeah,
That's
he has been getting held a little bit to at his defense. But you're right, he has to be more consistent.
Yeah. I mean, he has been getting hell, and I've seen it. But then I look on the flip side. I'm like, you supposed to be a first round. Like I said, we drafted him late second, early third. I can live with it. But as a first round talent, and I'm not just saying him. It's been a lot of guys who in the NFL history who have came in the NFL first round talent and was supposed to be this, and they didn't pan out. The difference for me between Oway, I never heard of the guy until we drafted him. I was like, who is this guy? I never.
I watched this. I watched him and Michael Parsons that year. They were pretty good. But I was like, I was like 0 sacks. That kind of worried me. But then I watched the game tape. I said he got it's something there. So I said the right coaching, he can be something.
And my thing is, he gets the time to play. So I know the time is no problem. He gets the time, but he has no pass rush moves. He has no moves to where he can actually go back there and get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, but when it comes to just drafting, I mean, I can name, we haven't really hit on no players. Like, it mainly in the draft. Like I said, just Travis Jones is emerging. That's because he's getting his time now. You know, he comes in, you know, of course, we know he was hurt, but he's coming in doing this thing. Likely, we've seen flashes of. We don't use him like how they used him in the preseason. I'm not sure why. Justice Hill is nice. Special teams guy, good guy. But he got hurt. Injuries and whatnot. J.K. We all know what J.K. can do, but injuries was there. Same thing with Bateman. The injuries, and it's just like if it's not the injuries, we're not getting the talent that we required you, to have for where we drafted you at. Because it's just, and it's just getting tired because we have zero pass rush, zero. And, we couldn't get to Daniel Jones. We couldn't get Daniel Jones on the ground. And don't get me wrong, we got JPP, but he's not what he once was. And I don't expect too much from him. But he's doing this thing. I don't expect him to do too much. Justin Houston still hurt. Like we said, waiting on Bowser, waiting on Ojabo. But these guys coming off a major injury. We talking torn Achilles. Dewan James, prime example. I say it every week towards Achilles rehab, 2.5 years, came back, his Achilles grew again. I'm not saying it will happen to them. I hope it don't, but then where do you go from there? You back at the drawing board, so we have to do a better job at drafting and we have to stop being cheap. Lamar Jackson needs a true big body wide receiver. And when I seen that the Cardinals gave up a fifth round pick, I was like, EDC couldn't have did that? A fifth round pick. EDC couldn't have did that?
Yeah, man. It's like he just he gotta stop thinking like every draft pick gonna be a hidden gem. No, it don't work like that, man. It's like like after the fifth round, them guys normally get cut. So it's like even last year, like I love Tyler Bate. Don't get me wrong. I mean, why not draft Justin Jefferson? I mean, not Justin. I'm sorry, Justin Ross, right there. Why not? I get he had the health and the injury, but the sixth round pick is a high risk, low reward. Like we passed on Romeo Dubs for Jordan Stout. Good, he's a good punter, but you can always find a punter. Punters are not hard to find.
Nope.
You can go walk up into any goddamn a CFL team and get a punter. Like I mean, it's just like you passed on him. You passed on Khalil Shakur, who's in Buffalo doing his thing. For Kola, who I think is gonna be good, but right now it's hurt. Like we should have took Jermaine Johnson. I said it. You should have took Jermaine Johnson. This is how I think the first round should have went. If you trade Hollywood, whatever, you still get Linderbaum. That stays in place at 25. 14, you take Jermaine Johnson because like
Yeah.
that would do the sacks and all that, man. All that scheme fit, and he can stand up. He did it when he did it in college, so he played it both. Then at 45, you take George Pickens. Now you killed three birds with one stone. Like it's just like Joe Douglas right now is a better GM than Eric DeCosta. I'm sorry, like Joe Douglas took over a job with a crappy ass front office, bad cap. It was just a lot. And then look at it, we got him 4-2. He started hitting on his picks. He started being smart, going acquiring. He went out and got Zach Wilson weapons, Corey Davis.
Yep.
Uh, drafted Garrett Wilson. Like I said, they went and drafted Denzel Mims 2 years ago. They got Brees Hall, went and got Sauce Gardner. You know what I mean? I get it. They had them picks because they weren't good, but he made the most of it. Like I said, but he took Makai back and like he just Quentin Williams. He made some good picks like the Costa. He didn't have full draft now. Only a couple players like that. I'm at 2022. We're gonna hold off on that because it's their first year. But 19, 20, and 21 is like only ones you really see making noise is JK when healthy. Like I said, you got
Matabike.
yeah, like I said, playing and Doppy. Oh wait, they make their plays here and there, so I'm not gonna so I'm still slide them in there. But even still, 5 players out of 20 some players, that's not a good ratio. So he has to do better. Like he has to do better. He gotta draft better, and he gotta be more aggressive. Say, hey, if he take a first round pick to get a DeAndre Hopkins or DJ Moore or Devontae Adams. Like we could have matched with Green Bay. We could have matched with the Raiders got, and we could have worked up the contract. And then what I mean, we get him. I think Lamar signs his contract. We trade for a person like him. He would have like, man, shit, okay. I will work it. Work it out. Lamar want the more the more the one thing Lamar want to do more than anything is win a Super Bowl.
Oh, of course.
He know the money gonna come. He know that. He know he's getting paid. He know he gonna cash out. That's the least of his worries. So, but he want to win a championship. So he's just like, so you go get somebody like that. You showing him like we're committing to winning the championship. We're not just trying to just get by. So he signs right there, and then he looking at them like, man, what y'all going to do to help me out? Yeah, y'all say he wanted the O line and all that, which I did pretty good getting depth there. But he still got to throw the ball to somebody because 89 can't catch every single pass. So y'all still could have killed two birds with one. You could have still addressed the O line and still went and got him some legit weapons. It's like I don't know. I think guys said, man, you gotta do a better job, man. Like I said, give up that first round pick to go to DJ Moore. DJ Moore. Uh,
And to EDC credit though, I mean he has got guys. Guys have came to the facility, but they just didn't eat. You know what I mean? So it's not like he didn't try, but when it comes to the wide receiver position, man, and my boy Chris Wright brought this up. He was like, is it they don't want to bring nobody in to maybe try to sabotage Lamar, or like what's going on? Because here's the thing: every good quarterback in the NFL has good wide receivers, if not great wide receivers. When you look at the Bills, they went and got Stephon Diggs. No problem. We come on, yeah, we need you. We need you. They made that happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, y'all don't want to bring a wide receiver in here. I want my money, but how can I get my money if I don't have nobody to make plays to help me get my money to help y'all win? So it's like they're not on the same page. And like I said, when you look on the sideline, Lamar just be sitting there, man. To be honest, he don't even look like he gonna talk to Harbaugh no more.
right.
So the energy is off. Um, it's not looking good from a character standpoint.
Mhm.
And I don't, I just don't know what it is, but I feel like something has to be shaken up. It has to be changed because, like I said, you go get Deshaun Jackson, okay, cool. Andy Isabella, okay, cool. But why not go get Josh Gordon? I mean, Josh Gordon can produce. We know this. I think Josh Gordon can produce. We know he got for sure hands, good route runners, fast, can get open. Like I said, he had some issues, but Kansas City had got him and they got rid of him. I just don't know, man. It just seemed like the only two major moves that I could speak on EDC was Williams and the trade for Peters. And I can't leave out Campbell, but we know that Campbell at the end of the road, man, and that's just what it is.
It's funny you say that. What side of the ball do all three of those guys play?
Defense.
You do the same thing on offense. Once again, you bring me back to my point. He will go to heaven and high water. And I get it, we're a defensive oriented team, but in this day and age, you can't play defense the way you once played in 2000. And this was
Nope.
your rules still. Oh yeah, all day long. I wouldn't trip. But your best player is your quarterback. Like I said, yeah, you wouldn't got him better protection, but yeah, go the same way you went out and gave Marcus Williams that money, give a receiver that money. Part ways with Greg Roman, man. Like fuck it. It's just like you did with Cam Cameron, and the team was 9-2. It was 9-2, and they
Yep.
decided to cut bait with him. So we 3-3. So what's I mean, what's the difference? Like, what's the difference? Like, come on now. So go ahead. Part ways when he'll get a job as a college offensive coordinator because the way how he call his offense is better suited for the college game. Promote T Martin because like I said, Buffalo was trying to give him the job, but he turned it down because he
He
wanted to.
turned it down, man.
Yeah, so we gotta give him a shot for that, and then like give Keith Williams a shot. So we got two guys already in the house that's more than capable of replacing him. So how about make the damn move, man? You know what I mean? So it's just little stuff like that, man. We got like I said, because we missed the playoffs again this year. But Shad is bringing that pitchfork out.
And here's the thing, real quick, JP. We turned it down. I mean, T. Martin turned it down, and that just goes to show you that in his mind, I think he's like, okay, look, well, they gonna get him one more shot, and after that, I'm in there, or they gonna get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he wants to be there with the Ravens organization. That just tells you I turned the job down, man. So I want to be here. So it's like, what is Hobbs waiting on, man? I don't understand it. Roman is he's done. We every week we say the same thing. Roman time is I mean, it's done. You know, it's over with. It's a broken record, man. So I don't understand what they waiting on. And here's the thing: we can see on our players' faces that they frustrated. Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphrey going to Twitter, Lamar with no energy, guys not talking. And it's just like it's gonna get to the point. We're not an organization, never have been, where a player literally speaks out and just say how they feel. You know, they just try to go with the flow or go do this and do that. We're not that type of organization. But it's gonna get to a point where somebody's gonna have to come out and say that, and that's when it's gonna open up a lot of cans. And it's either you get rid of them or you get rid of me. That's what's gonna need to happen. And the prime example was the Hollywood Brown situation. Look, I don't want nobody in my business, man. It's between me and you. Go ahead, man. I want to trade. You know, and I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Because that just shows how classy our organization is when it comes to handling those type of situations. Now, if somebody speaks out, it's gonna open up a can of worms, man, and something's really gonna happen.
Oh yeah, you're right. All right, man. This is a breakdown show. I know we kind of vented a little bit. Let's look at some matchups. Let's look at our offensive line against the Browns defensive line. So you start first.
I want to say Miles Garrett is back, from what I heard. You know what I'm saying? So that's good news for him, considering what happened with the car accident and all of that. So shout out to Miles Garrett. Good to have you back. Not of course playing against us, but you know what I mean. To have you back out there on the field. But it's going to be interesting because Stanley looked like he grinded it out this past week all the way down to the wire. So I feel like he's off his time, his snap count, and all of that. He's off. So he will be out there full throttle, ready to go. And he's finally going to be going up against I want to say more of an elite premier pass rusher and Miles Garrett. So we're really going to see how he is. Not saying that he hasn't won against good pass rushers, but we know what Miles Garrett brings to the table. You sometimes you got to double team this guy, but it's going to be nice because now we really can see how Stanley really is and how he's doing. Not sure if Jadavion Clowney is playing. I haven't checked the injury report. I know he was injured a while
He
back.
good. He playing. He good to go.
He playing.
they say he's a full participant.
Okay, so we got Morgan Moses on that side, and if he can't go, which he's good, he could have went back in the Giants game. They kept him out, but Patrick McCarry to me, man, I mean, if it's an award to get to somebody in the NFL for just being multi-talented at one position or multiple positions, he deserves it. I can't speak enough on this dude. He just a guy. He come to work. He don't ask no questions. JP, man, he show up. I'm gonna do my job. Where y'all want me at? It don't matter. I can play whatever. If nobody can't go, I really feel comfortable for him stepping in, which was surprising because when Moses went out, I thought they would have put Falalele in, at right tackle and just let McCarry still be that guy for Ronnie Stanley, but they didn't. I'm not sure why, but so the main thing is, we know what they can bring up the field, coming as far as containing the quarterback and getting up there for some pass rushes where either you need the double team chip or you got to have your tackles on a swivel who can handle that out there one on one. I believe we definitely capable of doing that. But just like we mentioned earlier, Lamar has to pay attention and hold the ball up, look downfield, and just relax, Lamar. You don't always have to just run. Just relax and sit in there and throw that ball. So it's going to be interesting to see how the tackles handled, especially Moses on that side. The injury it wasn't nothing major, but just to see if he fully healthy.
Yeah, man. Just to piggyback what you say real fast before I get into the matchup. Definitely, the Iron Man award definitely should go to Patrick McCard or Patrick McCard. Both the Patricks deserve it. They do a lot more, more than what the average person does. All right, the Browns D line, man, it's very talented, man. You got that freak of nature coming back, man. Miles Garrett, he's just like he was made in a lab, man. Over like 40 inch vertical off the high, built like a super saiyan. So I'm glad Ronnie Stanley's back, man, because we're gonna need him against that freak of nature. Clowney's playing, that's another freak of nature, but he just always been dinged up. But when he's healthy, he's a problem, man. Like I said, he's disruptive. So me personally, I think Leahy should play right tackle. I think Patrick Ricard should go to guard and let Ben Powers just come in and just be a swing guy. So because
Okay.
not really giving us the push like that, like I really want. Like, because every time we run behind his side, it's like we don't get as many yards. We get the most yards running behind Kevin Zeitler, man. I gotta give him his credit because nobody really talked about that. I know playing O line is not the sexiest position because there's no stats. But he out there dogging guys, man. He doing his thing, man. So, shout out to Kevin Zeitler, man. He's definitely been putting in that work, man. Tyler Lindenbaugh, like you said, his grades are off the chart. Haven't given him no sacks, but he got to just, get his snaps and stuff together and the penalties, which is going to happen. He's a rookie, so, we definitely got to be able to, we got to be able to block, what's what they got, Malik McDowell and those guys like that, D tackle. We definitely got to
Yep.
be, we got to definitely got to be able to block those guys, man, so we can get our run game going. Because we can't let them pass rushers pin their ears back and get after Lamar. So, we definitely got to win our matchups up front. But I would definitely go with Patrick McCarry at guard and let Fale get the reps at right tackle because you want as much size up there as possible. And then Benny Cleveland, man, I don't know what's going on, but y'all got to let that guy play, man. It's either let him play or trade him. So that's it. Um, all right, let's go. Let's go our receiving group, tight ends, including two, versus the Browns secondary.
I don't, I seen Bateman practicing. Uh, I haven't checked to see if he was a full participant on that, but you know, I we that's one that's questionable. But if he does play, of course he's going to be our number one wide receiver. And go out there this week. Uh, you got Denzel Ward. Um, Here's my thing, man. It's the wide receivers going out there, Mark Andrews and all of them. I feel like across the middle, anything going across, going to the tight end, I believe we're good on. Isaiah likely can run routes. He can get open. He can get separation. That's good. That's what you want in anybody going out to catch a pass. He can show that. But it's just like we go back to personnel now. If now I did read today that Deshaun Jackson is staying after practice a little late with Lamar to try to get on the same page. So this week we come out against the Browns. So if Bateman is healthy, you're gonna have Bateman, Duvernay, and I guess Deshaun at the slot. Robinson drops down, or how you gonna do it. But we gotta watch it because here's the thing: we're playing the Browns, man. Going over the center, they look at it, especially going to the tight end. They jump the routes going to the tight end. Them and Pittsburgh do it because they know the offense. They know where Lamar's going. It is a division game, so we just got to be careful. Keep our head on the swivel. Go out there and just perform.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be intriguing, man. Hopefully Bateman can go. We definitely gonna need Sean Jackson Sunday because, like I said, you got Denzel Ward, Gregory Newsom, Ty Hill, who else? You got Brad Delpit, John Johnson, Martin Emerson. They got a pretty good DB secondary, and all them guys can run. So we're gonna need somebody that can stretch the field because if you don't got nobody can stretch the field, them guys will play press coverage all day long. So they don't feel threatened. Hopefully Isabella can get activated. He's been here enough. So we just need the element of the speed out there. The ways that them guys won't say, "Oh, we can't play cover zero. We can't go single high because one mistake that's 6 points on the board." So and so then you come up with a three receiver set. You got Duvernay, Isabella, and Deshaun Jackson on one side with Bateman backside. That's going to cause a lot of problems. But we definitely gotta create some routes for them to get open, like Greg Roman or Keith Williams. He's the passing game coordinator,
Passing game coordinator.
so he has to draw up some stuff, man. Like run some bubble screens, run some rubber routes. Get it out there quick. You know what I mean? Run some wide receiver screens. It's like anything that just to get the ball in these speed demons' hands away. You can put some pressure on the Browns DBs. All right, now our running backs versus the Browns linebackers.
Uh, I don't. J.K. He was a little limited this past week. I'm not sure why. And I understand why. They want to save him for down the stretch for a little bit more. Because here's the thing: when Gus Edwards come back, Mike Davis is getting cut. So it's like you might as well just go ahead and use Kenyon Drake, preserve Gus, and preserve J.K. coming off, especially J.K. coming off that major injury. Go ahead, preserve them, and let Kenyon Drake just eat right now. I understand. I heard. J.K. was a little disappointed about not, getting more reps and all of that. You're coming off an injury, bro. I know you want to play. It's just, making sure you health. Your health is your wealth. You know what I'm saying? If you're not healthy, you can't play. And Gus, of course, we haven't heard anything. I don't think they're going to activate him for this game. So that essentially leaves us with Mike Davis. We're going in there with J.K. and Kenyon Drake. Justice Hill, I believe, is still nursing his injury. So Kenyon Drake is coming off a big game. I believe he's the hot hand right now. Of course, J.K. is going to start, but his reps are going to be limited. We need to go out there and essentially just grind. And here's the thing, like you mentioned earlier, where's Ben Cleveland at? They said he hurt his foot, but I don't know what. How did he hurt his foot? Because he wasn't playing. So I don't know, but we just got to do a good job, man. Here's the thing: take the points, run the ball, take the points. That's how we get down there because we have to do it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like I said, J.K. definitely he's still getting his legs back. I know him by missing the whole entire year, so definitely keep him on the pitch count. Roll with Drake. Drake has been getting yards. You can eat. Look, even use Mike Davis right now because you ain't gonna have him that long because Gus will be right. They said the timetable for Gus is like Monday night game against the Saints because we got that old 10 day, the 10 day, the 10 day layover with the Thursday night game, so that gives him extra days to rest. So go ahead and give Mike Davis a couple carries on a short yardage situation. That way you keep all three of them fresh. And then, like I said, you still got Ricard. He come lead block. Like when you get to the red zone, use him. Put a tight, put Nick Boyle at fullback and put McCarr at halfback. Like you said, if you need a raw yard, give it to McCarr. We're gonna get a shirt and get that copyrighted. You need a
Yeah.
yard ball like that. So yeah, they get in line up, line Nick Boyle at fullback. That's what he basically is. He's basically a fullback. And put McCarr at tail, and then put the lay hands the extra eligible tackle and run the football on 30 yards. So I personally you can use as an extra running back in short yard situation. So they just gotta get creative. But yeah, the Browns linebackers are very fast, but they light in the ass. You got Jeremiah Wusu Kamara. Those guys can run, but they light. They like 215, 220. So we can run at those guys. Anthony Walker's like the most traditional linebacker they got. He's like 245, 250. But we got to run right at the guys, man, and see if they can get off block. Just like you said, see if they want to meet Ricard in the whole game, which I don't think they want to do. I don't think no linebacker want to do that. Maybe outside of Michael Parsons, but yeah. So this you got to run out those guys because like I say, they're a little undersized. All right. Now we're gonna flip it to our defense. Our defensive line versus the Browns offensive line.
Browns do have, at center and guard, they
They
do
got
have some.
they got one of the best offensive lines of football.
Yeah, they. That's what I'm saying. Interior is just amazing. What they can do. Um, Travis Jones, he needs to get more time. I don't know what the problem is. They want to keep Calais Campbell in for all these snaps. I'm not sure, but Travis Jones needs to eat. So does Matabike, Broderick Washington. We use Calais Campbell on like bring him in on certain situations and just limit his snap count. We don't have to have him out there on third down trying to rush the passer. And, he's really not doing nothing. There's no force. But Travis Jones definitely needs to get more time, especially since we got Kareem Hunt and you got Nick Chubb coming out there. That's pretty much you playing Saquon again this week if you really want to be technical, and then you playing a mini bulldozer, behind that. So it's like we got to be able to. We gonna need guys up front this week. I think. With that being said, they might activate Isaiah Mack off the practice squad just to have another lineman, down there to help out because Brent Urban he hasn't really did much. I mean, when he got in the game, but just to have that weight up front to try to move, to try to open them holes up for Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. But Travis Jones needs to, definitely step it up this game.
Yeah, because they're going to get off the bus wanting to run the football. It ain't no secret. Like I said, Jacoby Brissett, solid guy, but he's not a guy that's going to throw the ball 40 times a game. They know that. Stefanski know that. He's a great play caller. He's smart. They going to get off the bus wanting to run football. They watch the game. They check the stats and analytics. So they're going to want to run the football. They're going to want to play action pass, get his bite, and then take those shots to Cooper Swartz and People Jones. So remember the game 3 years ago when they gashed us? I know two different teams, but it's the same thing. Like we can't have that type of performance. We gotta stop the run. Make Jacoby
Absolutely.
make Jacoby beat us. So like we said, Travis Jones, Metabuke, Calais, all those guys, Roger Washington, they gotta be ready to play. Even the outside guys that can rush, they're gonna have to stop the run too. They're gonna have to do their job. Play your gap. Don't try to do nobody else's job. We should be fine. Like that's when we get in trouble when somebody else want to play Superman, do somebody else's job. Stay in your run fit, do your job. and and make the tackle. Like I said, it's not going playing D line. You're not going to always get all the prettiest numbers, but you just got to do your job and stay disciplined. And the way we could nullify this powerful run game, because like I said, they're coming out the best run in football. All right, the Browns receivers versus our secondary.
Um, first I'm gonna say, you got to watch out for the tight ends too.
Yeah,
Njoku.
yeah,
Um,
they are included in the
oh,
course.
okay, Njoku. Of course, you got Mari Cooper. Coming in the division now.
What's up, fam? Glad you can join us. Quick.
So so you got him coming in the division now. So but then you got Jacoby Brissett at quarter. I like Jacoby Brissett. I think Jacoby Brissett is a good quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But these receivers are gonna get open or try to get open. I feel like we need to play a lot of more. I want to say man, but then if the pass rush can't get there, there's no point. That's why I think we later on, even in most of the games that we played, we try to go out there man and we look good. And later on in the game, it's like McDonald take the pressure off. We was in that Bengals game, man. We had Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey was on the line of scrimmage up in your face, like I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna jam you. But later on, it's just like Mike McDonald. As the game goes on, he wants to drop everybody back. He doesn't want to be physical. I mean, I don't understand that. But we definitely got to get up early in their chest, punch them in the mouth, and just take that loss we just had. Take that frustration out, man. Go out there and just show them, like, look, even though we lost, this is a division game, and if we win the division, I mean, it's nothing that can stop you if you win a division because you're automatically in.
Okay, well said as always, co-host. We gotta definitely, like I said, we gotta make sure these guys don't leak out. 'Cause like I said, they're gonna run the football, play action pass. And Amari Cooper, say what you want about him, he's still a Pro Bowl receiver. Like I don't know why the Cowboys traded him, and they kind of hurting now because they did that. Because now CD Lamb, all the pressure on him. But Amari Cooper's explosive. Anthony Schwartz is explosive. Donovan Peoples Jones. They got like you said, Joku and Hunter Bryant. David Bell, the rookie, he's starting to come along. So and this is our strength, our defense, our secondary. Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphrey, Jada Armour Davis and Demarion Williams are getting a little better. Then you got Brandon Stevens who can play nickel and he can play safety, which he's doing. And then you got Geno Stone, you got Chuck Clark, Kyle, Marcus Williams will be out for a little while, so we'll get him back second half of the year. So yeah, I like our chances with that though. Like I said, as long as we don't they don't fall for play action pass, I think they should be okay. Will the Browns receivers make big plays? Yes, because like I said, nobody can cover forever. Like I said, it's just it's just what it is. So, but we got to limit the big plays. So we keep everything in front of us and just come up and tackle. I like our chances. All right, the Browns running backs versus our linebackers.
Malik Harrison definitely needs to be in the starting lineup.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Um, that's no question. He needs to be in there. And I feel like AJ Klein, he needs to get some time this week. Like I
yeah,
said, he was on special teams, and of course, he made that hit. Which got us the penalty. But he definitely needs to get some time this week. Queen, you got to be able to tackle this week. Once again, buddy, you got to get off these blocks because these linemen are coming. You said it, JP. They getting off the bus to run the ball. So they coming to get you. You cannot get hung up on blocks against this team because if it happens, Nick Chubb is going to shoot by you, and then they got a two-headed monster. So it's going to be you're going to be worn down, fatigue. It's definitely going to happen. So same with Oway. You got to get off these blocks and make the tackle. JPP. Uh, Houston might come back this game. I haven't heard too much, on his groin injury. If he does, that'll definitely help out, a little bit. But for the most part, Malik Harrison has to start. There's no way he needs to start, and he needs to be in on goal line plays. I'm not sure what are they doing. He doesn't need to be an outside linebacker on goal line. He needs to be at middle linebacker on goal line plays. So I'm not sure what's going on. So like I said, AJ Klein, Bynes will get his snaps in, but I think he might have a limited role this game.
yeah, because he can't move lateral like that. I mean, I think short yards would be good for him. But definitely Malik Harrison got to start. 'Cause like I said, they're going to try to run the football straight at us. Queen better go lift weights this week. He better go eat his Wheaties. He better go watch film. He better get on the phone with Ray Lewis, and he just need to do everything because they coming right at you. They watch film, so your brain is. We can't handle missed tackles today. We can't handle drop picks today.
Nope.
You gotta wrap. I'm talking about you gotta hit him, boom, or hold on for dear life if you got to. But yeah, we can't handle weak. you got two grown men that's they coming to run the football. So Queen gotta be on his best game Sunday. Got to. We're gonna be in trouble. All right, let's do our three keys to victory and our score prediction, then we'll get out here. So give me your three keys we gotta do to get this victory and give me a score prediction.
Number one is stop the run. That's number one. They gonna come and run it. If we stop the run, get them off the field. Watch out for the play action. Let's get these pass rushes upfield to go after the set. So that's number one. For us. Number two, stick to what's worked. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If the running game is working, let's run the ball down their throat, which I believe will work. But don't get to the 5 yard line and just get out there and we're gonna do trips, send Ricard in motion, and we're gonna throw the ball. Stick to the run game, line it up, let Ricard go out there and just get somebody, plow him to the ground, and let's go do this. Turnovers. Lamar, you've had back-to-back games with interceptions. I want to see no turnovers this game. Let's keep it clean as far as cleaning up the penalties and turnovers. Defensive side, we always want those. Offensively, let's keep it clean. Lamar, no turnovers, no interceptions. So those are my three keys to this game.
Okay, GK, you a fool, man. uh, yeah, man, I'm gonna say the same thing. Stop the run. Force the Browns to be one dimensional, man. Don't let them beat us with their best attribute, which now is their run game. Number two, limit the turnovers offense. Right, offensively, definitely don't turn the football over. Like, what I mean, I'm gonna put two. I'm gonna put these two at number two. Don't don't get no don't commit turnovers and force turnovers. Catch the interceptions if it hits you. Fall on the ball if it's right there. Like we can't get them second chances. Number three, field position. Take it on points. Like no need for renegade ball. Take your points off, ball. Take your points. Give me your score prediction.
I'm gonna say this game could come down to a field goal or a touchdown. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say 24-17.
I like that score for some reason. Uh, like I said, I think both defenses are going to play pretty well. So I'm going to go. I'm gonna go 24. I'm gonna go 24-21. I think Tuck hits a game-winning field goal to win it.
Hmm,
Yeah. So
I
right.
take that.
Yeah. So I just it's not just enough scoring and just enough defense. So I think it'll be like that.
Okay.
All right, everyone, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, thank you for Kevin for turning in. I know he had to go do another show, so we'll definitely get him back on again as well. Stay tuned. Monday, I'm gonna try to get us a guest, but if not, just be me and AJ kicking and doing our thing. So we're gonna recap the Browns game, and then Wednesday we'll do our preview versus the Bucks. Go ahead, AJ, do your thing.
Like I said, I want to shout out to everybody for coming in. Shout out to Kevin for coming on the show. Talking football with us. Hope everybody out there having a good day. Everybody stay positive, stay up. Shout out to my boy Jeff Fort, Brian Murray, and Chris Wright. For always giving me their opinions and stuff to talk about. Please, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Go to YouTube. You can check us out at Talking Ravens all day, every day. Please like and subscribe. Go Ravens, and let's go out here this week. Put this Giants game behind us, and let's get this division win because that's what really counts. Because, like I always say, if you win in your division, you automatically in.
Absolutely, that's what Eric Weddle said a year ago. That's the easiest way to make the playoffs, win the division. So everyone, man, have an amazing Wednesday, have an amazing weekend. We'll definitely talk to you guys Monday. Win or lose. So we'll definitely be on here. We don't duck no smoke, but everyone, make sure you guys trade. Talk Ravens all day, every day. From your host Justin P and my co-host Marv. I mean, Marv. I'm gonna put him in here too. He did hire me back on, but he a part of the team too. But my
For
co-host
sure.
and Marv, we still give him a shout out. We just gonna see you guys Monday, man. And then, like I said, man, let's get this W to go so we go 4-3. So everyone, love you guys, and we out.
All right.